Back to the Jets. Multiple reports saying John Morton will be their new offensive coordinator. Now, Todd Bowles is a defensive guy, so it's very likely that Morton will have complete control over the offense. It's an important position, one going to someone with no experience as an NFL play caller. Here's Ray Lucas with more on the hire.
Well, the Jets hired John Morton as their offense coordinator. Looking back at this guy's history, you see he was an offensive coordinator in 2009 and 2010 for the USC Trojans, a year that Pete Carroll resigned and all the infractions started. We talked about the New York Jets quarterback situation being the most important thing that the Jets have to address. Just as important as I think is the offensive coordinator. John Morton, if he was a wide receivers coach, he's very well qualified for that. But again, when you have young quarterbacks in Hackenberg and Bryce Petty and you're not sure who the quarterback is on your roster, does this now mean that the Jets will have to go out and get a Tony Romo? To me, John Morton, I think it was a little too quick to pull the trigger on a guy who's only been an offensive coordinator for 1 year. It leaves me again with the New York Jets shaking my head.
Gang Green wrapped up Jets House Sunday full of fun events for the fans. They brought in Jets players of the past and present to the event, and Ralph Vacchiano caught up with former quarterback Chad Pennington.
Chad, I think the Jets now have been searching for a franchise quarterback probably since you were here. How important is it for this team to find not only a quarterback this offseason, but a long-term answer for that position?
Well, I think what you got to realize is that's a very difficult scenario, and so you've got to be really patient. And just because you feel like you need that franchise guy, you can't force that issue. If there's not one there, you can't just try to make one up. And so you try to find other ways to be productive, be successful, and win. I think through free agency, sometimes you can find a guy that can do well for you, be successful, while you're trying to find that long-term answer.
With that, do you think there should be maybe a veteran on the roster to help them through that, or do you think that the rookies should, or the young guys should get a chance to go and play and learn that way?
No, I think there always needs to be a veteran, whether he's a backup or the starter. There always needs to be a veteran in that room. That room is a room that has to have stability, has to be a room that's a safe haven for those guys to be able to talk and work through things together as a group of quarterbacks. And if you have all young quarterbacks that are trying to compete for the job and trying to get what they want to get, you don't have a good scenario of someone that's just in there for the betterment of the room entirely. So that's important to have a veteran.
They will have a new offensive coordinator this year. Does that mean they're going to have a step back because they have to learn a new offense all over again?
It possibly could. Sometimes I think it can present that, especially for younger quarterbacks that just started to get their feet wet and get used to an NFL system, and then they have to change. That can certainly present a challenge. For other guys, it's not that big of a deal. And then for the coordinator himself, trying to learn what each quarterback can do well, what he doesn't do well, what the other guys in the huddle do well, trying to piece all that together, it does present a challenge.